On May 22, 2012, four international aid workers from the UK, Kenya, and Afghanistan were kidnapped by a small group of extremists that had broken off from the Taliban. Once word of the kidnapping got out, a number of US surveillance drones went airborne in an attempt to locate the aid workers. Initially, the Afghan government began negotiations with the kidnappers in a bid to secure freedom for the aid workers without the use of military intervention. Unfortunately, negotiations soon began to break down, leading then Prime Minister David Cameron to authorize a rescue. This rescue mission soon came to be known as Operation Jubilee. The four aid workers were on a humanitarian mission in Afghanistan, providing crucial support and relief in war-torn regions. Among them were citizens from the UK, Kenya, and Afghanistan, each bringing unique skills and dedication to their roles. They were out there working tirelessly to help those in desperate need. Their abduction by a splinter group from the Taliban sent shockwaves through the international community, raising fears for their safety and highlighting the ongoing dangers faced by aid workers in conflict zones. When news of the kidnapping broke, it was like a punch to the gut. These were people who had come to help, and now their lives were in danger. The Afghan government didn't waste any time. They jumped straight into action, hoping to negotiate the release of the hostages. There were initial glimmers of hope as the government tried to work out a peaceful resolution without sending out the military. For a moment, it seemed like they might be able to talk the kidnappers into letting the hostages go. But, as often happens in these situations, things took a turn for the worse. The kidnappers started making outrageous demands, ones that were impossible to meet. It became clear that they weren't interested in negotiating in good faith. The talks began to fall apart, and the situation grew more desperate by the hour. The Afghan government found themselves at a critical decision point. They had to act fast before things got even more out of hand. As negotiations fell apart, Prime Minister David Cameron was under immense pressure to take action. The clock was ticking, and everyone knew the stakes were high. Understanding how urgent and serious the situation was, Cameron gave the go-ahead for a rescue mission. This mission, later known as Operation Jubilee, needed to be precise and swift. Technology played a huge role in setting things up. US surveillance drones were crucial. They scoured vast areas of northern Afghanistan, their cameras and sensors working overtime to find any sign of the hostages. After hours of scanning, they finally hit pay dirt, a small network of caves where the aid workers were believed to be held. With this vital information, the plan started to take shape. They decided to launch a joint operation involving some of the most elite forces in the world. 28 members of the British Special Air Service, or SAS, and 28 members of the US Navy SEAL Team 6 were called in. These were the best of the best, trained for exactly this kind of high-stakes mission. They were also joined by an unknown number of Afghan commandos who would provide critical local support. There were even whispers that members of New Zealand's SAS might be involved, though that was never officially confirmed. All these forces gathered at a forward operating base not too far from the caves where the hostages were being held. They were close enough to act quickly, but far enough to stay undetected. As they waited for the final green light from the British government, everyone knew this operation had to be flawless. The pressure was on, but these were seasoned professionals ready to execute the mission with precision and determination. As surveillance drones circled above, new intelligence revealed a critical development. The hostages had been separated into two caves. This information prompted a strategic adjustment. The SAS would assault one cave, while the SEALs targeted the other, both supported by their Afghan partners. In preparation, the elite Pathfinder platoon of the British Army covertly moved towards the caves to identify suitable landing zones for the rescue teams. With time running out, Prime Minister David Cameron gave the final go-ahead on June 1st. At approximately 1:30 a.m., the operators touched down at the designated landing zone roughly 5 miles from the caves. The team swiftly moved into position, ready to execute their plan. The SAS were the first to engage, silently neutralizing 2 lookouts at the entrance of their designated cave. Upon entering, they encountered and quickly eliminated 3 more terrorists. The SEALs simultaneously breached the second cave, facing fierce resistance from 7 extremists. Despite the intense confrontation, the SEALs methodically cleared the cave, only to find it empty. Meanwhile, the SAS completed their sweep of the first cave and discovered all 4 hostages who had been moved together and were unharmed. The rescue teams swiftly evacuated the hostages, guiding them to the waiting helicopters that whisked them away to safety in Kabul. The operation was executed flawlessly, with no injuries among the rescue team. The successful return of the hostages was met with widespread relief and praise. The British government lauded the operation as an overwhelming success, highlighting the precision and bravery of the rescue teams. The hostages, though shaken, were in good health and received immediate medical attention upon their return. Official statements from both the UK and US government underscored the significance of the mission, emphasizing the commitment to protecting humanitarian workers and combating terrorism. The operation also demonstrated the effectiveness of international collaboration and advanced military technology in addressing complex hostage situations. Operation Jubilee stands as a testament to the courage and skill of the special forces involved, as well as the vital role of intelligence and strategic planning in successful military operations. The mission not only saved the lives of 4 aid workers, but also reinforced the international community's resolve to stand against terrorism and support humanitarian efforts. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment on what you'd like to see next.